Hey fellas, welcome to a long overdue episode of Man Up. I've been working real hard on some stuff, so I haven't been able to get these videos filmed, but I have something that came to mind and I needed to get a video done because I'm calling myself out on this one. Over the past year, a little backstory, over the past year I've been traveling a lot, so I traveled to Italy for 3 months, which is the greatest trip of my life. Absolutely love that. I went to Scotland for a couple weeks, and I'll go back to Scotland. I just love that place. Then I came back. I went out to Alberta, had a golfing trip with pals. We did that for a month. I did a lot of work, talked to some pals just over there. Fell in love with Alberta, so I came back, went to Argentina. Over the last year, I spent 8 or 9 months traveling, States, Europe, South America. I came back, and when I was in South America, I bought a dog. It's a Dogo Argentino. They're really awesome dogs. They're beautiful dogs. They're hunting dogs. It's the only dog breed that engages big game. So they hunt boar and cougar. So they're a pretty impressive dog. But then I came back and I was just gonna get an apartment. I was probably gonna rent. I didn't even think about buying. So I was gonna get an apartment, and then I wanted to move to Alberta because I like the place. The Rocky Mountains are right there. It's a lot of great people out there. My godson's out there. So I was gonna move out there, and then I realized I've got this dog, and he's a big dog. Get to 120, 130 pounds, and apartment won't cut it. So then, and I also found out that you can't have a large breed in most apartments in Calgary. So then I talked to my buddy, and then he opened me up to the possibility that I could buy. I could buy. I never thought about buying a house until I got the dog. So I forced my own hand, and then my buddy said, yeah, you should probably buy a house. There's no point. Like, if you're buying a house, the mortgage payments will be the same as the rent payments. You just got to get a decent enough down payment. So I started saving while I was in South America. I started really saving, really watching my spending. Came back and just save. And then I went out there this past a week ago, and I looked at places, and we found one really nice place. It was a little bit above what I was looking at as far as budget, but it was still within my means. I could still do it. So we put an offer on, offer accepted, and it looks like I've got the place. And then I started getting anxiety. I started worrying about, what if business stops? What if I can't make the payments? What if, basically. And these are all what ifs that are more unlikely than the what if business succeeds. What if I can double the payments? What if this? What if that? It was just a silly way of thinking. I got anxiety. I'm like, what the hell's going on? Why am I worried about these things? It's not like me. And I realized my new norm became traveling. So I'd spent so much time traveling, and that became my new norm. That became my comfort, moving from town to town week after week. That traveling became something where it wasn't. I was facing fears when I was traveling, big time, especially in certain areas in South America. But the actual act of traveling alone became normal to me, and I did not fear it anymore. What I am fearing, it took me a while to realize it, is responsibility, which is a bad thing to fear. Because every guy should have responsibility. The more, the better. So coming back and getting this house, I'm realizing that I'm fearing responsibility and fearing the fact that maybe for a year or two I'm gonna have to save up a ton of money to put down this house again. Try to just pay as much off it as possible, as early as possible, and that will stop me from doing all the traveling that I want to do. So I was looking at the negatives rather than the positives. But what I did do that is good is I got the best place, the best bang for your buck. It's in a great neighborhood. The house is $80,000 less than the average in the neighborhood, so it's a good investment. And I dumped in Chase. I got something a little bit better that's going to force me to hustle my ass off and really go after this thing. So this is the principle of dump and chase, and it's actually my realtor, who's a pretty successful guy, who brought this up. We were looking at things that were well within my means, like really well within my means. Things that wouldn't necessarily inspire, but they're probably great investments regardless. And he's like, well, why don't you just dump and chase? Why don't you go after something awesome and then set the bar here, you're here, and then force yourself to rise up. This is something that I've done my whole life. I did this with traveling. I booked a trip before I set money aside. I gave myself 3 months to set that money aside and paid for the trip before I left, and I succeeded. I just forced myself to work hard. I did this in sports when I would tell people that, oh, I'm going to win this fight, and everyone says that, but I'd tell people that, or I'm going to win by this fashion, or in basketball, I'm going to win this award, we're going to win this game, or hockey, I'm going to win this award. So I've dumped and chased my whole life, and then I get to this big, monumental part in my life. We're buying a house for the first time. It's a big expense. It's the most expensive thing you're going to do. And I kind of got uneasy, and I had to go back and read some books, read some articles of my own, oddly enough, to figure out what the hell was going on. And I just realized that I'm facing a new fear, and you have to face it like a man. You have to face it like a warrior. See it as a challenge, not as something too much. So the lesson is, in life, sometimes you have to swim out into the deep water. Sometimes you have to set the bar higher than what you can currently accomplish, and then you just got to go chase it. In hockey, it's called dump and chase. You give up possession, you dump it. I am from Canada. You give up possession, you dump it into the zone, and then you go get it. But there's strategy involved. You dump it in the corner where the opposing D-man has to come at it from a weird way, and then your teammate goes in, hits him, takes a puck, and you gain possession again. So you're giving up control to extend yourself, to push yourself beyond what you can currently do. And I had to call myself out, and I was being a bit of a pussy. I was getting all worried about things that I can control. I can control if I can't make pay. I can control if my business fails, if this happens, if this happens. So don't ask the what if questions. Ask the challenges. Ask, what are your challenges? What are the fears you're facing? Set the bar high and go chase it. So that's the man up. The man up for this week is calling me out to man up. Hopefully you can take some lessons from this video and apply it to your own life. As far as something that'll help you with these things, I've got something for you. It's called the gauge workout. It's along these lines. You're going to test your strength levels. So I'll show you exactly how strong you are, and then in a series of newsletters that I've already set up, I'm going to show you how to set that bar higher. I'm going to show you how to get stronger, mathematically speaking, by measuring your maxes compared to the weights you're lifting in the gym. So it's a really effective workout. It's free. Click that link below, get that workout, and hopefully take something from this video. I'll be back with some more Man Up videos soon. So take care and have an awesome day.